Warning. The following may contain concepts, ideas, and/or reflections unique in nature and not yet approved by government and/or corporate entities. This content is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to stimulate further reflection or to perpetuate additional discourse beyond the scope already outlined by institutional curriculum.
All right, now you can talk.
Today's show, hello everybody. Today's show is brought to you by the letter P. It is the beginning of my tribe.
Well, that's the last time I'll let you start off the video.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so today's video, we're going to be talking about one is the loneliest number you could ever be.
Ba, 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 ba.
Two
One is
could be
the loneliest number.
Okay. Anyways, we're talking about
We do live in an
We're-
apartment.
we're talking about loneliness. Yeah, let's cue the intro.
Really?
and
I
get
didn't know
into
that's
it.
what we're talking about. Okay.
The tiniest Well, okay. So, yeah, I mean, the age of loneliness. I think it's not really about the feeling so much as how
State of existence?
many single people are the growing number of single
Let's see
people.
a raised hand out there.
Do I have any other single people in the house? Do you have a cat? Do you have one cat? Do you have two cats? Do you have three cats?
Then you're not alone.
You're not alone. You got feline company.
Goldfish don't count though.
And that ain't bad. So, okay, so this the impetus for this one was watching a video about China and the growing number of single people in China. Apparently, so this woman was saying that there is something like it's close to like 200 million single people that are currently like in the marriaging age, and then and it's supposed to grow to like 400 million in like maybe 2035 or something, like so in 10 years time. And I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
Now, what's interesting is it's not just China, obviously, right?
No.
This
No, because Japan is got the same problem.
and Europe and the West, there is this growing number of people that are single. Now, there could be a few. There could be multiple reasons. I mean, one of the ones that are often brought up is just economic constraints, that it's too costly. But at the same time, on the flip, if you look at the economic standpoint, you're basically, I mean, it's kind of more cost effective to be in a relationship in a sense, right? Because you're having now dual incomes. Typically, the cost of just a one-bedroom apartment is higher than it would be to have, well, if you're just sharing the same bed, you're saving money. I mean, by being in a relationship. So when you get these people saying, well, it's just too costly for people to be in a relationship. Well, maybe to have kids, but not really to just be in a relationship. And
But if you have 4 working adults all sharing, studio or more, then, that's 6 or 8 adults splitting the tab.
And I mean, even condoms could get costly after a while. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know though. To me, I think that it goes beyond just an
Pure economics.
Pure economics.
So you mean there's maybe some psychological factors?
Well, yeah, and I think I think there's a few components. Like one, we've talked about exploding population. So it might seem like, well, isn't it good that people just are isolated and individual, live apart from one another as single people? Wouldn't that be good for population control? And I think that is a factor, but the population is not really being controlled. There's still,
although one could do a little bit of a study to see whether in areas where housing is more affordable, whether there is more families.
Well,
family development going on.
But it can't be economic, because there's population booms going on in India and Africa, and they have some of the lowest GDP per capita. So
yeah, but maybe housing even in India is still relatively cheap when you think that they're the most populous country in the world.
No,
with an area that's actually smaller than China.
Come on, man. If you do the math,
come on, man. Get
real, man. Come on,
okay,
pull your
on.
head out of your ass. No, I mean, obviously the cost per what people are making is there's no way it's cost effective. There's no way there's more that
India.
Apartments are cheaper. I mean, most people are being paid shit.
Well, we're so lazy we haven't even done a rental review of these different areas in the subcontinent to really know that, but we'll take an educated guess.
Well, I've seen data. I mean, I don't need to pull out like an actual number to tell people that Indians are poor.
Oh, they are. Well, I mean, yes.
Okay, so then shut up. Then the point is obviously economic constraints is not really the thing. And if we're talking about a population, like this is the program to reduce the population, I would say, well, if that is true, to me, it's pretty. It's probably one of the worst ways of controlling the population, other than secretly putting euthanizing agents or sterilization agents in the drinking water. Because what we're talking about is basically that this is something that is social engineering to use the type of content, movies, media, or having whatever pornography, all these different things that could maybe reduce the likelihood that people end up being in relationships, or are even just avoiding them.
So it sounds like social ineptness contributes to this lack of coupling. And
what do you mean social ineptness? What does that mean?
Well, ineptness is that you do not. It's not conducive to meeting people. Either there's not the social outlets. If everything's done online.
But all of that would all fall under just social engineering, which would be setting up the platform. I mean, obviously, dating sites are part of kind of like a social engineering, I would say.
Well, back in the day, if a guy in a car saw a nice-looking chick down the street and he had the gumption, he would not have a problem slowing down and going, "Hey, you want to ride?" But I think there's enough pressures now placed upon the male individual to say this could be construed as or misconstrued as sexual harassment.
Well, in the West, it's really not surprising, because if you look at the fact that a lot of stuff that's like geared towards women is like, it's always like a guy serial killer, especially like if you look at a lot of movies, they're like, it's always a decent looking, attractive guy who ends up being a serial killer. So, I mean, mentally, if you're watching like movie after movie about an attractive, charismatic guy who is actually like beheading women on the side, I can't imagine that that's going to make you feel more comfortable in a social setting with strangers. I mean, and then on the other side, where guys are, maybe absorbing too much pornography or shit like this, it's going to put way more tension and pressure on them in a weird sort of way, where in the back of their head there's all this weird shit going on. So you get two highly dysfunctional people now with like all these dark thoughts in the back of their head whirling around. No shit, you're going to have a problem connecting in a real way.
And as well, though, I think because it seems like this is all a part of the West. We have to include Japan, although China, I don't quite understand that. But let's just say they're the more educated part of the 8 billion people. And that there's some kind of subliminal message that's being given. Is your laptop still working?
Yeah.
Okay. There's some subliminal message being given that, apart from the economic factors, is that there is too many people on the planet. And an educated person would feel compelled by his own responsibilities or her responsibility to the planet to basically not do that which would have been natural.
Yeah.
Many words to say nothing.
Well, no,
using the greatest amount of words to convey the least amount of thought.
No, I mean, hey, don't sell yourself short.
I think that was a Churchill quote. Go ahead. Don't sell myself short. Okay. Continue, Sensei.
No, okay. So, yeah, what you're saying, there's definitely a component where you could say that, but I don't really think it's about population control. I think it's just about controlling the population. And it comes back to this idea that there's been different eugenicists and other academics out there who have talked about where if you can deconstruct the family unit, people can operate within the constructs of society as basically like if you strip away the parents. And now you have this individual. The individual wants to latch on to some sort of humanity. So now, the corporation's like his uncle. And the state is like his father. And all of basically, he becomes this member where this grand society, that's his family. Okay. That's what he's involved in, right? The problem with relationships and families is that it becomes kind of nucleated, and that like small little unit is kind of like feels a lot more self-reliant and independent from, you almost have everything you need. There's like that family, that farming family, where like they're like a large Christian family, but they basically, it's like their family is so large, and they're they're doing sustainable farming and everything. He's
talking about this family of Dutch heritage farmers from Canada that relocated to Russia. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The point is that any family unit that's like a tight family unit is kind of like
self-sustaining.
They're self-sustaining. They can, they basically have everything they need within that family unit. They're not really. But if you take like a single person, most single people are a lot more reliant upon like even their corporation. Like especially women, any women that I know that are single, their place inside of a corporate structure to them is like incredibly important in their life. It's almost like a part of their family, where it's they'd be torn apart if they got fired or something from their job, because that like is the nucleus holding them together.
Well, of course you're right about that. Continue.
So I mean, in the case of China, I don't know if it's as much about just controlling the population, because I think they could still you can still successfully control population with rules and regulation. I mean, it's a police state anyways, but by dividing these people into these one single unit, there's really all you have is now the individual and then the state. And so that person is just now a part of this large family of this entire Chinese state.
Okay,
That's why I think they've engineered people to be single.
I think you were talking about this one experiment. I think there's been numerous experiments where you take some rats and you just got a couple of rats and they're all living fairly comfortably.
Yeah.
And there's plenty to eat and plenty to drink. And the experiment is they just kept on adding rats into this certain confined area. And once you add a bit more rats, it becomes their behavior changes completely. I don't think there's reproduction going on. In fact, there's killing.
Well, no, I think what's weird is that there's still reproduction going on. But yeah, psychologically, there's a shift. You get, especially in males, because males will become, in like that rat population, you'll have hyper-aggression in some males, and then you'll have like effeminate characteristics
traits in others.
And
sounds like humanity.
Yeah, so we're exactly like rats in a sense, because if you look at society now, it's like you got like either on the one side of the spectrum, you got some like super effeminate, like maybe programmer or something, and then on the other side, you got like just a complete like rage hog UFC fighter.
Or that UFC fighter might all of a sudden wake up one day and go, I think I'm just too aggressive here. And he wants to start, changing his ways. And he's in a transitionary state.
I don't know where you're coming up with this stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm just brainstorming. It's just this spontaneity of thought.
Yeah. No, but I think that no, but I think there's a big ethical question. See, it's weird that people have said that restricting the size of a family is immoral, but in a sense, I think that it's much more immoral to say, well, we do have population explosion, so what we're going to do is we're going to psychologically manipulate people and create a sort of subhuman that is really incapable of communication, forming relationships, or anything like this. And this creature is now going to just be a production machine working as a cog in the employment sphere. And they're going to maybe own one cat, and they're going to live alone until they die.
Well, the ones that are running society could definitely make a conducive atmosphere easily. Bring back the local dance, where you could find your opportunity there to hook up.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, you're going with nature if you're going to be talking about coupling. So you don't really have to put too much effort together, right?
Yeah.
So it's separating people that's the challenge, right? It's dividing people up. I mean, if you take kids, you would have to go through a whole lot of effort in a school to make sure that these kids don't form any relationships, don't form any friendships. They all act as these like insular individuals, and all you have is that kid and the teacher and the kid and the teacher, and nobody interacts and goes, hey, what are we learning? Seems like a bunch of bullshit, right?
Well, we learn how to slip a condom on prosthetic.
Yeah, you're like guaranteed to come up with some off the wall bullshit every time, huh? Like, I mean, my goodness. I'm like trying to go from point A to point B to point B. Yes, yeah, and if you look at the psychological implications of such a thing, you're like, banana dick, and
All right, continue on here. Get back on track.
Get back on track.
I'm the conductor.
No, I mean,
Where's this train going?
Crazed conductor from hell. I don't think you're on any tracks, man. What the hell are you talking about? No, I mean, where do you go? I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say in a sense, because I think the framework for this stuff is definitely it's subliminally inserted into everything that we're watching, everything that we're doing. I mean, the entire construct of even the internet is made as a dividing, separate, segment people off into their own little bubbles.
Yeah, I think that the more society becomes artificial and synthesized, it's really hard to expect that you're going to get natural relations coming out of that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of like it goes into how people become more like automatons, which is why AI is so effective, is because we've become robotic. Our lives are robotic. We're told what to do, perform this function. Bottles come by. Nope, no lid on this bottle.
I've only been doing this for 8 hours.
Yeah, and
I will go crazy if it becomes 10 hours.
Stimulants. And so yeah, people end up following into these like hugely robotic routines. And so yeah, it's very easy now for AI to replicate it, because how much regurgitation do people do on a day-to-day basis, and how much like just absorbing whatever is out there and really not questioning, not pushing back against it.
And if you
ever.
become so robotic, then it's not inconceivable to want to hook up with the next female robot they want to present to you.
I knew you'd come up with some more bullshit. Yeah, that's kind of contrary to the entire thesis. No, it's like if you think about it, like a pimp is not a matchmaker, right? He's not there to get people to meet and greet and form a really good
healthy
bond,
relationships,
right? So his modus operandi is going to be, let's desensitize these people. Let's make this into a mechanical operation where we can monetize it. But
if you think about what is the earnings, potential earnings from one of his proteges, then you think, okay, so what would be the buyout of that protege, and what if we just give you a lump sum then for matchmaking?
Obviously, you have not been in the dating market for a long time.
At least 40 years.
That part of your brain is shriveled up. No, but yeah, I mean, I think the point though is not what the value, what kind of buyout program you can get on a human being. No, the point is that if you want to control the situation, you want to control people, the way to do that is to basically control that part of the brain, control the entire transaction, make it into whatever formula is going to desensitize people. You don't want some John going in to a whorehouse and being like, let's just talk and really connect. Typically, that's why there's time
Do
limits.
you like knitting? Are you a dressmaker by choice, or what is your interest?
Right. And well, and to also to that fact, I think that there's a propaganda that's there to kind of like lead men into what is the least attractive attributes that a man could have that women would find unattractive, and do the same thing with women.
Right, kind of like pre-program them to have a disposition to liking something that's actually quite unnatural.
Like, yeah,
and almost unattainable.
If you ever like scroll through some like just for women, whether it's a magazine, a book, a newspaper, whatever it is, but it's geared specifically for women. If they put a list like, oh, how to make you more attractive to your man, almost everything on that fucking list is like a turn off. Like it's, and I would say that most guys would find it, a turn off as well, right? So they're feeding them with a bunch of bullshit, and then on the other flip side, men are being fed the same crap is being fed to guys of like, oh well, how are you gonna make yourself more attractive? Well, it's making money. That's the way. I mean, it's not.
And do you have a problem with the female component earning more money than you? Are you content to just stay at home and maybe play some music or, get into some kind of hobby,
Also,
maybe go to the gym?
Also, I'm pretty.
I got no problem with that.
Dude, I'm pretty sure most of these like experts as well that like would weigh in on these subjects live pretty lonely, pathetic lives themselves as well. Like, I can't imagine.
Well, and that's going to be a topic for another discussion, is experts and pundits, whether they're economic pundits with their own vernacular, much like lawyers have their own vernacular, and then you got those in the medical system that are Latin linguistics.
We've reincarnated Latins to.
Well, we reduced
be
them.
The doctors.
Yeah.
No, the Latin language. Anyways,
Latin language, yes.
before your
Not the
brain
demographics.
heats up and completely malfunctions,
Well,
maybe we should just cut this one short
Yeah,
and
it's going
not
to be
do like a
short and sweet.
crazy long video like we've done for the past couple ones. Yeah, it's just
It's Wednesday, or Odin's Day, the day of Mercury, the day of communication. I think we effectively communicated.
Did we? I don't know.
Did we? I don't know. Well, let's not be in doubt.
All right.
I think I hear somebody calling me.
I think we'll cut it there, and
It was God.
maybe we'll recuperate our collective thought and
Revitalize.
have something delectable to serve up to you tomorrow. All right. Later, guys.
In 4, 3, 2, 1.